All right, good morning, everyone. A quick break. And got a call on the line. Let's take it. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Elliott Eddie.
Hey,
Great
Elliott.
listening to you, brother.
Hey, Elliott Eddie. How are you this morning, man? Thank you for your time.
Oh, man, thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first, I just want to make sure we're not on speaker, right? Because speaker will not sound too good.
Absolutely not.
Okay, great. Well, Mr. Eddie, I reached out to you because I saw, an article about you in Black News and that you had created a board game that could help inspire people and give people skills about starting a business. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. The entrepreneur game.
It's called the Entrepreneur Game. So tell us about it. How'd you create it? Why'd you create it? And how do you play it?
Okay. The entrepreneur game, it's a fun, educational, interactive game. It puts you in the driver's seat because you become CEO of your own home base or brick-and-mortar business. And your objective is to grow your business into an empire through marketing, budgeting, investing, and decision-making, also negotiating deals, all while you're trying to avoid bankruptcy. And, of course, if you become a millionaire, everyone else in the game has to call your name, say, "You are an incredible entrepreneur. Please teach me your wisdom." The reason I created it was because, actually, I was doing a set of entrepreneur workshops for the youth here in Richmond, Virginia, through the public library. This was last year. And what I was noticing, I had one particular class, I had a 14-year-old boy in there who knew how to fix bikes. So as I was going around the room asking each one of the children, well, what type of business would you open? He looked at me and said, "Man, I can't open a business. You have to be special to open a business, and I'm not special." And at that moment, it kind of broke my heart because, I was looking at a young boy who, had all the potential in the world, and he actually had a business because he could fix bikes, which is a low overhead business. Anybody would love that. But he didn't realize what he had. And then I looked at all the other children, and I was thinking, well, they're too young. They don't have the information to know that they can turn their talents and their skills into a profitable venture. And probably not a lot of people in their immediate family or in their immediate environment had that information either. So I wanted to figure out, well, if I do these workshops, I could only pull in maybe, 20, 30 kids at a time, and I have to do six individual workshops. But there are millions of children around the world. So how could I do my part in helping children and adults understand that there is a place for them? They don't have to just be workers, but they can become captains of industry, not just consumers, but producers. How do I do that? Then I started thinking back to the days when I was growing up, and there was the game Monopoly. I loved Monopoly. I venture to say I was the best ever. I don't ever remember losing a game of Monopoly. And because of playing that game, when I got older, I wanted to do real estate. I wanted to buy and sell real estate. So I thought about that, and I said, well, what if I created a board game that would allow them to have fun, but also would teach them the actual skills and the actual thought processes that go into building, starting, and growing your own business. For example, when I played Monopoly, although I enjoyed it and it's branded as a real estate trading game, it didn't really teach me how to do real estate, how to buy and sell real estate. It didn't teach me the thought process behind it, how to go and find it. When I got older, I had to go and learn all of that stuff. So I said, the entrepreneur game, what I wanted to do is I wanted to give them real-life situations. I wanted them to create their own business from the start. What type of business are you creating? Are you putting it in your house, or are you going to go out and rent a space? What are you going to name your business? I wanted to have that experience and then go about trying to figure out how to grow their business, how to increase their holdings, how to add other locations, how to overcome losses, because we all deal with those, how to actually think along the terms of having your own business and growing it. What comes inside of that? So, and I worked on it, and here we are.
I'm speaking with Elliott Eddie. He is the creator of the Entrepreneur Game, man. That's a hell of a story, Mr. Eddie. That is, man, that's really inspiring. And like you said, heartbreaking to hear this young man say you got to be special, right? And it's like, dude, you already are. You was born special. Wow. And I agree with you. Everybody used to play Monopoly. And hearing you say you never lost makes me want to challenge you to a game of Monopoly. Now, maybe we can do that on Facebook or something, but because I never lost either. Still house champion. But you're right. It doesn't teach you anything. It teaches you how to count. Monopoly teaches you how to count, but it doesn't teach you how to actually be a businessman.
Okay, yeah, and it was great. It was great.
Can you hear me?
It gave me that competitive edge, but that was pretty much the end of it.
Yeah, Mr. Eddie, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I was saying, I agree with you that Monopoly doesn't teach you how to be a businessman. It just teaches you how to count. You roll the dice, you move the appropriate amount of squares. You pick up the car. That's it. It teaches you how to count your money. So it's a really good game for kids. But so what age is your game targeted for?
Okay, so this game, because of the toy association, the age range is 12 and up. Now, what I found is that children as young as 10 have been playing and actually have beaten some adults. Now, the children that are 10 and 11 years old, what I found is they do better if they've had a little bit more opportunity to read, have some reading comprehension, because usually their math skills are good. But as long as their reading comprehension skills are on par, they really excel. So it's 12 and up, but I found that 10-year-olds have really been taken to the game as well.
Okay, so how long does it take to play the game?
It's 2 to 6 players. 6 players can play one full game in about an hour and 20 minutes, depending on how much extra talking and extra fun they're having. But about an hour 10 to an hour and 20 minutes.
Okay. And when did you create the game? How long has this product been on the market? And how can people find it?
Well, the game just came on the market January of this year. I was doing the workshops in 2017. In 2018, I came up with the idea. It was right about February I came up with the idea to make the game. And it took me from conception to completion all of 2018. And it came on the market 2019, January. And, of course, it could be found. We have a website. It's www.entrepreneurboardgame.com. Entrepreneurboardgame.com.
Yeah, I'm on your site right now. And so you got a video up, and you actually got to
Yes, sir.
write in different stuff and your balance sheet. And so is this marketed for black people, or are you trying to market this? Because I see it's white people. I see across the board here. Like, who do you envision this game is best for?
Well, I think this is a game that applies to the world. You know, I really do. I love the fact that that black and Hispanics and other people of so-called minority status are interested in the game, because by and far we have been left out of most of the things. We are the ones that have been told that we are just basically consumers. So I think that that's a great idea, and I think we really need it in our communities. But ultimately, it's for anyone. It's really for any child and adult that has a dream inside of them, anyone that has a skill, which we all have skills and talent. It's for anyone who has the idea that they can be more than what they are now. They don't teach this in school, so we would never know that, you know, there's something inside of us. So I think everybody should take advantage of it. And the way our world is right now, with no loyalty from corporations, you know, once back in the day, there used to be, you know, corporations were loyal to you. They had pension plans. They had all of these things, but now that's gone. You know, they try to release people who are a little bit older so they can bring in younger people at smaller pay. A lot of places like Virginia is a right to work state, which means they can fire you. You can walk in and do a great job, think you're doing a great job, and they can fire you at a moment. Well, what do you do in the meanwhile? How do you continue to make sure that you can take care of your family and your responsibilities? So I think everyone should be afforded the opportunity to have this game so that they can really plan their future and know that there's something more that they're capable of doing on this earth, whether it's for-profit or non-profit.
Speaking with Elliott Eddie, he is the creator of the Entrepreneur Game. Now, it says by EESpeaks. Is that your company?
Yes, EESpeaks is my motivational speaking company. I've done the Toastmaster things, won a couple of awards. So I started out as a speaker. And most of the things I spoke on was, of course, public speaking, entrepreneurship, and something I call dream building. And dream building is basically helping people find the talent and skills that they have within them, bring it out so that they can begin to build on that, create a vision for themselves, and just jump into it.
Wow. So you said you did the Toastmaster thing, won some awards. What kind of awards did you win? I'm curious.
Well, I'm a four-time Virginia champion, and every year they have something called the World Championship of Public Speaking, where you have about 35,000 people around the world, public speakers, going head-to-head in public speaking competitions until you dwindle it down to the top 10 speakers in the world, and then they go to this special place and compete for 1, 2, and 3. 2016, I am a finalist in the World Championship of Public Speaking, making me one of the top 10 in the world.
Wow, man, that is huge. That's big, bro. And I am aware of it. You know, as a talk show host, I actually am aware of it. I actually really enjoy those speeches. And I'm talking about, I mean, this is public speaking on another level, man. So I'm just curious now, man. I mean, not to get too far from the board game, but what's the prep time? I mean, how do you become a world-class speaker, man? Any tips for folks out there? Or just share your experience?
Well, you know, I think the main thing for me was, you know, it's about passion, you know, speaking about something that you're passionate about. For me, when I joined the competition, first of all, I had no idea there was something called Toastmasters, and no idea there was something called the World Championship of Public Speaking. I mean, what is that? Who thought of that? I just joined Toastmasters, honestly, because I was looking for something fun to do on my schedule. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd, so I'll admit that off the bat. I had a little time, and I was looking for something fun to put in my schedule. So I decided, well, my wife said, hey, you know, she joined Toastmasters. She said, you know, I think you would do great in this. I think you would be wonderful and incredible. So I did what all husbands do. I ignored her for about a year. And then I was looking for something to put in my schedule. I went back and I said, okay, well, let me join this and see what it's about. And I loved it. And there was a woman there named Linda Kennedy who, you know, she would stare at me from across the table. And she just, like, she saw something special in me. So she became my mentor. You know, I didn't ask for a mentor. She just became my mentor. And then she started telling me, you know, well, you have a very good gift of speaking. When I was growing up, it was called the gift of gab. But she said, you know, you have a gift. And she started telling me about the competition. So I joined the competition my first year and actually made it all the way up to the semifinals and took third place in the semifinals, which they only give out 27 trophies, and I got one of those trophies. And I came back excited. Next year I tried again and couldn't make it out of my district, so of course I quit. But then I came back and, you know, I went back for it. And what I found throughout the process is that if I really spoke about something that I was passionate about, something that I really believed in, it became a little bit easier. It became a little bit easier for me to express my ideas and my thoughts. So I tried not to put on airs. I just took subjects that I like, subjects that I felt that the world should know, and stop thinking about it as, well, I'm in this competition and I'm trying to beat all these people and I want to become the top in the world. And then just started thinking about it in the fact that, well, I'm up in front of all of these people right now. What can I say that I think will inspire them in their lives, that they can take home and say, you know what, I think that was good, and I think I'm going to apply that to my life. And once I started doing that, it became a little bit easier. And, you know, just putting in the work and continuing to work hard, and it happened.
Speaking with Elliott Eddy, he is the creator of the Entrepreneur Game. It's a board game that teaches you how to run a business. And the brother also has skills as a public speaker, which I can definitely hear picking up, man, as an audiophile, man, doing radio for many years. That's amazing, man. That's great. That's excellent, man. So people can buy, if they want to purchase your board game, they can buy it at the website.
Yes, sir.
And the website is, can you say it again, please?
It's www.entrepreneurboardgame.com.
Now, are you working, so what's the next project, or is this like right in front of you right now? Like you said, you just dropped it in January, but do you have any ideas on expanding, you know, on this concept in any other ways?
Oh, absolutely. All right, so what I found is I'm going to a bunch of homeschooling conferences because I really wanted this to be part of a curriculum because they don't teach it in schools. I wanted it to be part of a curriculum. And what I found is that there are a lot of parents at these conferences who have children. They love the game, they love the concept, but their children are too young to actually play the game. So they weren't able to buy the game just yet because, you know, their children 5, 6, 7, and 8. So what I came back and I said, well, you know, there needs to be something for children younger than that. So right now I'm working. I'm almost finished with it. I'm going toward the end of it. But I created another thing called the Young Entrepreneurs Program, or YEP. It's a curriculum. It's a book and a curriculum. And the idea of this is to teach or give the information for children as young as 5 on how to start their own business right now. I mean, real businesses, whether it's, and I actually, inside the curriculum, I give 12 different businesses. I show them how to start lemonade stands, dog walking business, pet care business, laundry businesses, all different types of businesses that they can do at the age of 5. And what it goes through is how do you set up a business entity? What's the difference between an LLC and a corporation, a sole proprietorship, and a trust? How do you set those up? How do you get your business license? How do you get your EIN number? It shows them how to set up a simple IRA. So as they're making money, they can put their money in an IRA. So when they turn 18, they'll have money to go with, to start a bigger business or to pay for their college or whatever they want to do. How do you do a business plan, a simplified business plan, so you can say, who am I marketing to? Who are my customers? What is my goal? How am I getting my funding? What type of things do I have to know in advance? Like if I'm having a lemonade stand, how do I find out what's the cheapest cups I can get? Where do I get my lemons from? What type of water am I going to use? So I have 12 different businesses in there. So it starts off with the mindset of an entrepreneur. So it gives some basic information about the pre-planning stages of starting your business that a 5-year-old can understand. And then it gives them actual businesses, and it takes them through each step of getting a business license, each individual step, so that by the time they finish that, these 5-year-olds through 105-year-olds can actually go out there, start a business, and do their business. And this is going in conjunction with the entrepreneur game, because the idea is the game is great, and it gives you a lot of information, and it gives you a good mindset. But now, how do we take what we're learning in the game and apply that to real life? How do we make that concept a creation? So that's what the Young Entrepreneur Program is. That one will be done by the end of May. And I'm going to the HEAVE convention, which is the third largest homeschooling convention in the United States. And I'm unveiling it at that convention.
Wow. Okay. So listen, I want to get on your media schedule, man. I'd love for you to come back on and tell us all about it here in Cincinnati on the Nathan Ivey Show. Are you available? Can you put your contact information out there? Because some of my listeners want to know how to, at least one of them want to get in contact with you, I guess, directly. Are you open to that?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you go ahead and put it out there?
Yes, I'm doing that right now.
Okay. Appreciate it. Well, listen, Mr. Eddie, I appreciate your time this morning. This is inspiring, and I wish you the best. I wish you the best, and keep me as a media contact. Maybe you ever come through the city, I'd love to bring you into the studio. Love to meet you.
That'd be great, man. I was in Cincinnati when I won one of those Toastmasters awards. I'd love to get back there.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got a member of my audience who went through Toastmasters as well, so that's pretty cool. So again, give us the website one last time before we break.
The website is www.entrepreneurboardgame.com.
All right, Elliott, thank you so much for your time, and have a great day, man.
You too, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Take it easy. That's Elliott Eddie, everybody. He's the creator of the Entrepreneur Game. The Entrepreneur Game. And he gave out the website, and we just connected on Facebook as well. That's great.